Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we have the Itel R60. This device is mainly for the Asian market, but you are able to get it probably in other countries. Check with your area. Again, this device is optimized with the cloud apps, and we're going to do a little bit of a review of that in just a second. But first, let's go over the frequently asked questions. Here are your frequently asked questions. The device does not have all of the basic utilities yet, but it's going to come with the cloud apps, and that's what I'm going to be highlighting a little bit further on today. Another thing is that this device is based on ThreadX, and usually ThreadX devices do not have the capability of using Wi-Fi. However, they have now come with ThreadX devices that do have the Wi-Fi module, so you're able to use it pretty easily here in whatever country. This is the reason why I'm able to show it to you, because I cannot put a SIM card since it's not compatible here in the United States. The interface is pretty basic. The messaging applications are, kind of like one-to-one messaging, but they do have predicted text, as you see right there. Hello, my name is Jose. One more E. There it is. And it defaults to I, which is great, as a lot of other devices don't. And you can continue typing whichever way it is that you want. But something that I was really struck by is just the differences and the more utilities that are going to come via the cloud phone. Some of the utilities right now, as I showcase in the Nokia 110, are just social media based, but there are some extremely good upcoming utilities that are going to be just exciting to see how they get developed. The battery life on this device is excellent. It's pretty much very low operating system usage. So you're talking about 3-4 days, and with light use, you can even push it further. You also have super battery mode, which is going to make it last even further. We're talking like a week or so. It does come preloaded with a few games, but they are kind of trials. So, use them whenever you're bored, but you have to buy extra configurations after that. The camera, nothing to rave about. Here are some samples of the camera so you can take a look into it. It's, again, very potato camera without good lighting conditions, and with good lighting conditions, it's a little bit better. But let's get to the main part of the video that I'm going to focus, which is cloud apps. This does also have hotspot tethering, which it's extremely helpful, again, with ThreadX devices, simple devices that just help you with phone calls, text messages, and a few basic utilities. That's what I'm looking for. And having Wi-Fi hotspot does help tremendously. But I'm going to showcase to you the cloud apps, because I think this is where this device is going to continue getting improvements. And not only this device, but all devices that are able to get cloud apps, like HMD devices and further ones that hopefully are coming to the United States in the near term. But for example, here is Facebook, quote unquote. But Facebook right here, it actually represents just a shortcut that is going to open up in Opera Mini. So when you go to that Facebook application, you're going to be met with this does not work on this browser. And the reason why is because the technology is just not available for this browser. As you see, Facebook is not available on this browser. However, if you go back and we go to the cloud apps, developers have already loaded Facebook for this device, and you're able to access it. Now, this is just an example. I'm giving you an example. I don't necessarily want to use Facebook or any of the other social media, but essentially what's happening here is that the device, the browser that it comes with, it's not powerful enough to load a lot of things. So for example, if we want to try something else like the BBC, for example, let's go over there, and you want to find the news. And right there, you're able to get to the BBC via a Google search result. But whenever you click on it, it's not going to be available, or it's going to be extremely cumbersome to navigate because the browser is quite dated and the technology is just not there. As you see right there, I'm trying to navigate through the news right here, but I'm not getting to anything. And the reason is because it's not optimized. You have to kind of go around and figure it out and test and see. And some things are going to be able to load, but they may not be optimized for the screen. As you see, you have to kind of like find your way around it. And okay, I can read it and it's nice. However, if I go to the cloud app, it's quite fast and optimized for this screen and for this device. So let's go over the BBC right here. Automatically, you see the picture, you see what it is that you need to get to, and you're able to read the news without many issues. And the reason why I like to look into this is because this showcases that basic phones do not have to be non convenient or non smart when it comes to utilities. Right now, there are not a lot of utilities. As you see, X is right there. But if you go to it, you will just get to the sign in. So don't sign in, don't use it. Then you get to even Facebook as well. You had that difficulty where you had to sign in. So if you don't want to use it, you don't have to use it. And it's not mining any data. It's not sending any data to Facebook just by having the icon in here. But the good illustration here is that these devices, even though they are made for simplicity, you can get extra abilities. Maybe it's a podcasting application, maybe it's a calendar that syncs with the cloud, like your Google. Here you can see what happens on YouTube, but when you try to watch a video, it's going to ask you to sign in and you're not going to be able to watch otherwise, which I think it's great because I don't want to watch YouTube, right? Eventually, I want to see that these devices get the opportunity to essentially load and delete the apps that I don't want. Right now, there is only a clear data or about section. There is nothing that I can do to delete any of these applications. But what I like to see is more affordable devices like this one with the cloud phone integration that allows you to go further into your day with utilities and not distractions. So hopefully eventually we're going to be able to delete some of these apps and only keep the ones that are good for my productivity, for my environment, for a digital minimalist life. But on top of that, having a device that has Wi-Fi for faster connection and also hotspot tethering in this basic package, we're talking about something that costs less than probably $50. It's going to be a game changer because you can bring a laptop, you can have some extra utilities with you. Maybe it's a tablet that you use when you're traveling, and you're not going to be disconnected. The device, I think, excels when it comes to the fast, how responsive it is. So I'm just really excited to see a lot of these utilities used and allowed further into these basic devices. You have a torch, you have a calculator, you have a local calendar as well that you can use, and you have Bluetooth. The complete package is coming sooner than we think to these basic devices, and I am really excited that this is going in the right direction with not only Wi-Fi modules, hotspot tethering for extremely basic phones, but also the cloud apps. And I hope that more developers take the charge here to create better utilities to reach out to people who need them, but they want a more simple phone, a more simple life in the everyday living. If you have any questions about this device or any of the other devices that I have reviewed, make sure to put them in the comments below and I will be interacting with you guys. I'm really excited about more devices like these, and especially if they come to North America. I'll put links to the Itel device. Again, it's mainly a Southeast Asia or South Asian device. So make sure to check the links and maybe you can import it to your area if it has the proper bands to work in your country. Again, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.